Brilliant. So, hi everyone. We're here again. It's Angela and Karen with our latest podcast, and this time we're going to be talking about invisibility in women as we mature.
Not that we know anything about this at all.
About being mature women.
Define mature.
But it's such an interesting
It is.
subject,
Oh,
isn't
it
it?
is,
So
yeah.
I think we could be here all day, but we're going to try and keep it to our usual timings. And there must be so many women out there who can relate to this subject in the workplace and in their personal lives as well. And it's a really topical subject, I think, as well, one that's been discussed many times in the media, and we're still pushing against it now, aren't we? So in many ways, what do you think? So let's talk about and think about how women appear to become invisible as they age.
Well, I'm going to start by saying that I think one benefit of ageing is that, and becoming less visible, is a reduction in unwanted attention. And I've noticed that as a woman maturing.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that's.
And I personally feel that to be a benefit. But however, in majority of times, I'm going to say that it's predominantly negatives. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in terms of the invisibility. But I think you've got a really good point there, because you can, as a younger woman, get a lot of unwanted attention, can't you? Which does seem to drift off a little bit as we mature. So.
I think there have been societal changes as well, but I mean, you will recall this. It was impossible to walk down the street without being catcalled, for example, by men in the street or people in vehicles.
Yes.
Or, sitting on your own in public would inevitably encourage, or you'd receive some attention that was, not sought, not wanted.
Not always wanted.
And I think perhaps I hope there is a lot less catcalling. I hope society has improved in that way, but
well, there certainly has been less for me.
Yes, same.
But,
I'm not complaining
about invisibility.
I said it was a positive, didn't I? So.
But let's sort of, in terms of that, so let's start with looks and how a woman can be overlooked because she might not be as young or slim or fresh-faced as others are. That's certainly something out there, and it happens in relationships. I mean, we've all heard about men known to trade in their wives or their partners for a younger model. I mean, that probably says more about them than it does about the wife
absolutely,
or the partner.
Yes.
But at the same time, it can be really hurtful and upsetting for somebody, particularly if you're growing older with that person, and then suddenly you're replaced because
I think it's a double shock, really, isn't it?
It is a double shock.
You've lost the relationship and the stability and the love that you thought you had, but then also to be replaced by someone who is younger or slimmer or more beautiful or who is fresh-faced, then, as I say, it feels like a double attack, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And I think that the same sort of thing can happen in the workplace. So, you're there and you get the younger staff come in, they've got new ideas and want to push things forward, and quite often some of these new ideas and things that they want to push forward have actually been tried and tested and either worked and taken on or not worked. But if you're the older, more mature person, you may well not get listened to when somebody's saying, actually, we tried that 5 years ago.
I definitely had experience of that, and I always thought that it was the benefit of my experience and the caution that I had learnt, or as you say, a change that I had already gone through. But obviously the enthusiasm of somebody was always much more attractive and more likely to be listened to. And of course there is a positivity there that I no longer had. But it was almost as if the experience and the knowledge that I had could just be completely overridden by the fact that someone could be really excited and positive about something. It almost didn't matter whether or not it would actually work.
No, exactly. What you're saying just becomes invisible and invalidated because of the enthusiasm of someone else. So, and I think some of this might be about confidence and how we feel in ourselves. So when it's happening to us, and also a lot of women, and there's such a huge proportion of women that are in key employment roles at the moment that are experiencing the menopause. I mean, we've done a whole podcast on the menopause before anyway. We could probably do several more on that as well. And it can lead to all those sorts of feelings of anxiety, of low mood, of lack of confidence and self-esteem, which can all perpetuate to make you feel even more less confident, less self-esteem. It just works against you, if you like, with the invisibility as
It
well.
almost becomes an internal struggle, doesn't it? You know, as I say, that what you're seeing and experiencing as against all of these doubts and hesitations that you're carrying around inside with you.
Yeah, totally.
And I think in reality, the managing of the symptoms in the menopause can affect us in the workplace in two ways. First of all, I think it can be a negative experience when people watch us experiencing those symptoms.
Absolutely.
For example, I can remember having a hot flush in a really important meeting once, you know, and I'm literally aware of people looking at me sideways, and you know that they are no longer listening to what's going on, they're just watching.
They're watching you.
You know, suffer a hot flush.
Yeah.
And, you know, perhaps there wasn't necessarily any other effect on me other than the fact, you know, I was probably able to present an argument or whatever, but I was having a hot flush.
I've had exactly the same in a meeting, and I've used a piece of paper, the agenda I think it was, to cool myself down. And a man next to me went, "Oh no, you're not going through that, are you?"
And it's all the stereotypes, isn't it?
I just laughed. Luckily, I felt very confident at that time. I just laughed and said, "Yes, I am," and carried on.
But there is a whole stereotype that then I think people's mind can go down. Oh well, she's having a hot flush. She's probably bonkers.
Yeah.
You know, and you're suddenly
She had
down
brain fog as well, so let's
not
not listen to anything she says.
Absolutely, write her off.
Yeah.
Is there a younger model somewhere?
Yes. Absolutely.
So I think it can be that literally you have a physical symptom, perhaps your thoughts or your decisions or whatever are still intact, but also, of course, you can also have the separate thing, which is where the physical symptoms are affecting your ability and your performance and your judgment. And we haven't really mentioned brain fog very much so far, but that certainly was a major difficulty for me in my career, in trying to sustain things, and was, you know, just struggling with the ability to remember where I was going sometimes.
Right, yeah. What am I doing next? Yeah.
So I think it can be twofold. It might be that there is just a physical manifestation that people then make a judgment about, or I think there can be a physical and a mental impact on you professionally.
Definitely. And I think, you know, we all know that the media has been known to have a really ageist and sexist approach. Certainly in the past. I'm not sure how well they're doing with it now, to be honest. But, you know, they've been very well known to be reporting on women being highly critical of their looks and their figures, and sharing what are deemed to be unflattering photographs. But they're only unflattering if somebody says they're unflattering. This is the whole point, isn't it? You know,
whose judgment is it?
Yeah.
Whose opinion is it?
Who is to judge that? Yeah, absolutely.
I think particularly in the celebrity arena, I'm not convinced that it is that long ago. I think there are terrible examples of the way that women have been treated.
Yes.
You know, man becomes a silver fox, doesn't he? Or you know, and he's judged to be worldly wise and experienced.
Yeah.
Whereas women are considered to have let themselves go, and they will talk about them that way.
But I think for a long time women talked about themselves that way as well. You know, and so I think we didn't do ourselves any favour by agreeing that we've let ourselves go.
Or perhaps as a younger woman we've said that about an older woman. Yeah. That's an awful admission to make, but I bet I probably did. Through a lack of knowledge and experience and all of those things.
Because we weren't mature women. You know, until you get to that point where you realise that actually you still have the knowledge. You still, you know, you've got the experience.
You still feel 30 inside.
Exactly. That old?
I can't think about the years before that.
But you still have all this going on, and you think, I can do that. I'd love to be able to do that. In your mind, you can. Okay, your body might not go along with it too much.
Or not as quickly.
But you know, when you get to that age, that you still feel young. But younger people don't see that. They don't. I mean, and I think we're all guilty of it.
So not only are you struggling with this internal versus external perception, but then perhaps if you're in the public eye, you also have to bear the weight of the public judgment. You know, newspapers, the thousands and thousands and millions of copies of newspapers that are sold. You know, just humiliating first page news.
That's right.
What's happened to so and so actress? Oh, she's gained some weight and she's got some wrinkles. You know, and goodness, that must be hard to get out of bed in the morning, mustn't it, when you're carrying all of that around on your shoulders? Yeah, and we still, you see it on social media all the time. On my social media, lots of things pop up that I don't ask for. Same as everybody. That old excuse.
And there'll be And like you say, there'll be a picture of a famous actress and it will say, oh, look in the comments to find why so-and-so is looking like this at the moment, or why they've done this to themselves.
Yes.
And I think, why do I want to do that? I don't want to.
No.
They look perfectly normal to me. It's just...
And actually they're smiling, or they're with their family or their children or whatever.
Or even if they're not, why is it my business? It's not.
Yeah.
So.
And every time we click, it's clickbait, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Based, yeah.
I mean, I think the menopause, as you said, Angela, I think the menopause is a big one, but there can be other things. And as I say, not everybody has a dreadful menopause, of course, do they? Some people hardly notice anything at all. But I think there's a whole thing about being the meat in the generational sandwich for women as well at the moment.
Yeah.
So perhaps they have their own busy job, successful career, whatever. They may still have teenagers or young men and young women at home. There may be grandparents, grandchildren that they're trying to be involved in the care and support of. And perhaps they're also at a time in life where their own parents are becoming in need of support and care, to varying degrees depending on their own health. So I think the energy that's required to be trying to juggle all of those things at the same time, and I won't say it's always women, because I'm sure it isn't. I'm going to say in my own personal experience, it quite often is women that end up juggling all of these things. And I just think, in terms of trying to keep all of those things in the air and maintain and have any kind of level of energy for yourself and your own needs must be incredibly difficult, mustn't it? A real struggle. And hats off to those women that are in those situations. If you happen to be having an awful menopause as well, someone should be sending you flowers and champagne, I think.
Every week.
Yes.
Every Friday. In time for the weekend. But you're absolutely right when you think about the amount of people that are in that situation, and all those who are looking after people, and they end up with carer burnout, which is a whole other subject as well.
Absolutely, we must talk about that at some point.
Yeah,
we must talk about that one at some time. So lots of reasons, none of them to be laid at the door of the individual, their life events or chemistry or the ageing process or whatever. But as I say, the end result is a combination of those things. Nobody really sees you as a person or as a woman anymore in so many circumstances.
I mean, it's so true. You can be a mother or a daughter but you're not that individual. You can be lost within that whole area of what you're doing, rather than
what you're doing for other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do we think that we can do about it? I mean, there's lots of things. I think we're advocates for this type of thing, aren't we?
Yes, of course we are.
Embracing our own ageing and doing things that will make us feel confident, even if other people have a different view. And I think that's so key. I really do.
Yeah.
So, exercise, eat healthily, and if you can't, just everything in moderation. Or actually, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
What makes you feel good?
Absolutely.
If it makes you feel good, do it. Wear the clothes that you like, that make you feel great. Don't conform. Don't just crush your spirit by saying, oh no, I can't do that, I can't wear that because I'm over 50 or over 55 or over 60 or however old you may be.
Stop now.
Stop now. Just wear it.
Yes.
Do it. Dance to the music you love. Have good fun. Join the groups that you've always wanted to and haven't, which will increase your confidence, your enjoyment. You'll meet new people, like-minded people. Keep your social life. We're really social creatures, human beings, and we thrive on human contact. So keep that going. I think that's really key.
I just think it's fun, isn't it? Try and find ways to keep having fun. So important. You don't lose that key essence of yourself, of the person that you truly are. I just think it keeps us grounded. It keeps us real. And as I say, if you can find something to laugh at, then the world is often not quite such a bad place, is it?
Have a good belly laugh. That's what I do. Find something to laugh at. I found something to laugh at yesterday.
Was it me?
It wasn't you actually. Not this time. I laughed with you, Karen.
Oh right, yes, good point.
You.
Good point well made.
No, it was on social media. It was on Instagram, and it was somebody is obviously does voiceovers of their dog.
Oh, okay.
And it was a dog singing a song, altered words, to the tune of Dolly Parton's 9 to 5.
Right.
And it was one of the funniest things I've heard, because it was about the dog being fed at 9 and 5 and about humans eating the whole day long.
You must send it to me.
I will forward it
Please
to you.
do.
It's very, very funny. So whoever did that,
Well
shout
done.
out to
Hats
you.
off.
It really made me laugh yesterday.
Yeah, and we've talked about social media as well, haven't we? But I think, it can be good for fun. It can be great for silliness, can't it?
That's that is what I will click on.
Yeah.
I will not click on to find out why someone is looking the way they're looking.
Absolutely.
But
Someone who still sees the fun in life.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think, we've listed some things, and we have made this sound difficult, and I think in many ways it is. Many of the women I know will say that it is a really tough journey, I think.
Yeah.
But I think also they will often say, once they have travelled that road and accepted the physical and the mental changes that can occur, I think ultimately a lot of women will say that they do find an inner peace and an inner confidence.
Yeah, as you mature, as you get older.
Yeah, and I think, we have to bear that in mind. Perhaps it is a struggle for you right now, but I do genuinely say, talk to women who are perhaps a bit further down the road than you. And I think a lot of them will say that there is a confidence and there is a peace that comes from, coming through all of these things and finding something really good at the end of it.
And others will say they get to a point where they just don't care.
Yeah.
They're not bothered at all what anyone says about them.
You were going to swear then, weren't you? Something about no something's given. I know. And it's very apt. Yeah, I think so.
So
that's the
difficult.
happy end to it, isn't it?
It is. That's what I was going to say. It's difficult, but there is a happy ending to it. There are things that you can do to ensure that, although we do become more invisible as we get older, to ensure that you come out of that feeling and are able to make yourself as visible as you want to be. And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. And maybe it's not so much about having to rely on the validation or the approval of external factors.
That's exactly
society or men or other women or whatever, but it's actually the ability to see yourself and be happy with it.
Be at peace and happy with
And
yourself.
you're right, maybe that's as visible as we actually need to be. Yeah, you sum that up really well. I wish I'd thought of it or said it before you.
Next time.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
We'll have a script next time. Okay. Actual script, and I will get the smart line at the end, okay? Is that a deal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So that was our thoughts on women and ageing, and hopefully you found it interesting. I've been looking forward to doing this one.
Yeah, I have as well. I've really enjoyed it, actually. Now that I can see you.
Yes.
I know, aren't you lucky? Absolutely brilliant. So, Karen, we've got to that point, haven't we?
I know, here we go again. I did joke and say that you wouldn't be able to do this because you wouldn't be able to see me, didn't I? But I don't think that's going to work now. Okay, so you want my what's been good still?
I do.
Well, what I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I grateful for? I'm going on holiday. Yeah, I'm very excited and very happy and very grateful for that. So yeah, I've got a week away with a family member and I'm really looking forward to that. Some sun and some relaxation. So that'll be lovely. I finished my shed. That's very exciting as well. It feels like it's been going on for the whole of summer.
That's okay.
But it's okay. And I'm so happy with it. It's not true.
It looks wonderful because when I came through earlier today, I thought, I could just go and sit in there. That's great.
It is. It's everything I hoped it would be. So that's really, really.
And it looks quite magnificent as you're walking down the road towards it.
I want some flashing lights on it, really, and maybe it needs a name or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that while I'm away. I've got a bit of brain capacity because I'm not really thinking of anything else. So they're probably my biggies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One more?
Oh, you steal all my lives.
I know.
One more. Okay, well, it's jolly nice to see you today because I haven't seen you for ages, actually, have I?
No.
Because we've both been busy with other things, and we were seeing each other every week, weren't we, while we were running the course recently?
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't seen you for ages, and we had a time for a nice catch-up, didn't we? Which was good.
We did. Yeah, it was lovely.
And what about you, Angela?
What about me?
Oh,
blank. Mine's
That's
called
what happens, isn't it? But I'm just going to wait.
It's completely what happens, isn't it? Well, I'm probably going to sound slightly boring to the listeners, but I've been tidying up my garden.
Okay,
And I love my garden.
You love your garden, and it's a lovely garden.
I do love my garden. So I've planted out, for several years, we've had a pear tree and a plum tree in pots.
Uh-huh.
So I've planted those out in the garden. So I've got all
okay.
fingers crossed that they will fruit really well next year, that they ground and will fruit. So
good.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I can imagine that was a joyful thing. What else?
It was, yeah. What else have I done? So what else has been good? I've had a lovely bank holiday weekend. We were able to go out this weekend, which has been fantastic. So for those who know will know that, you know, myself, my husband don't get out that often together, so it was fantastic to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I've seen photos, it looked fun.
Yeah, it was really good fun. Yeah, really good. Although I'm not very good at selfies, as you will have seen in the photograph.
Don't worry about what other people think.
Well, the funny thing was, it was hilarious. Everybody thought it was hilarious, including me. I thought it was funnier than everybody else.
I do think you might be the only person in the world who can't take a selfie nowadays. I think everybody else has had to learn.
I've not been. I don't know when my arms are too short or something, but I just don't seem to be
Your
able
arms
to
are no
do it.
different to everybody else's, actually. You can't be blaming your arms.
So I'm not good at that.
Okay, so we'll
But I
skip
don't
over the
mind about
selfie
that.
part, because that's not what was good, is it? That wasn't
Oh
good.
no, it was good because it was funny.
What
So
was
it
good
was
was going
good.
out. Yeah.
It was good because it was funny.
Okay. And at least one more. I don't know when I'm going to stop. I might keep going for a little while.
Well, I'm also going on holiday, but I'm not going for until the end of the month. In fact, the end of next month. But I've been able to check in already, so I'm very excited about that.
So we might be able to squeeze one more podcast in after I come home and before you go away then.
Yes.
Ideally
I
we
think
will, won't we?
would do
Because
that,
otherwise
yeah.
we'll be looking at the middle of October.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that would be lovely. You're going with
Definitely
Linda,
do
aren't
that.
you? You're going on holiday with your sister?
I am going on holiday with
Yeah,
my sister.
so
Yeah.
that would be
it'd
fabulous.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Some sun and
Yes,
so
lovely
exciting.
relaxation. That's what I'm looking forward to. Reading books and relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of downtime for your brain, isn't it? It's a lovely
it
thing.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Okay, well, they sound like lovely, lovely things. So aren't we lucky girls?
Aren't we?
Even though we're mature.
Yes. And invisible. Although we're not anymore.
Not to each other.
No. Brilliant.
Okay, well, I guess we'll be back after my holiday and before Angela's then. Let's have that as a plan, shall we?
Yes, we will.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Have you?
No, I haven't. No, we mentioned care with burnout today.
Yeah, so maybe that would be a good one to do.
We might do that.
I think that's. I thought, as we mentioned, that meeting the generational sandwich thing, it's relevant for a lot of people, isn't it? So maybe that would be next.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, in the meantime, take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. See you soon.
Bye.